Jai Gurudev, and thank you so much for sharing your expertise and for shedding light on these groundbreaking insights. Continuing our conversation on published research, are there any international journals that focus on the cross-cultural study of Hanuman's worship, particularly in non-Indian communities, and how has his influence transcended cultural boundaries in different parts of the world? Yes, there is a growing body of work in international journals that highlights how Hanuman's influence has indeed transcended cultural boundaries. One of the most fascinating aspects of this research is how Hanuman is being embraced in non-Indian communities, especially in the context of yoga, wellness, and meditation practices in the West. A prominent study published in an international journal on comparative religion looked at how Hanuman's image and stories have been incorporated into yoga practices across Europe and North America. While yoga itself has become a global phenomenon, the spiritual figures associated with it, such as Hanuman, are now gaining wider recognition. In these regions, Hanuman is revered not only for his physical strength, an aspect that resonates with practitioners of asana-based yoga, but also for his mental resilience and devotion, which align with the mindfulness and emotional wellness practices that are highly valued in the West. The study found that many Western practitioners, while unfamiliar with the full depth of Hanuman's role in the Ramayana, have adopted him as a symbol of determination and humility. Yoga instructors often invoke Hanuman's leap to Lanka as an allegory for overcoming personal challenges, using it as a metaphor for self-confidence and the pursuit of goals with unwavering faith. His image is even used in branding for yoga studios and wellness products, further showcasing his symbolic importance beyond Indian borders. In addition to this, research published in journal focusing on diaspora studies examine the presence of Hanuman in Hindu temples across the Caribbean, the United States, and the United Kingdom. Many Indian diaspora communities in these regions have maintained a strong tradition of Hanuman worship, especially through the regular recitation of the Hanuman Chalisa. In these contexts, Hanuman acts as a cultural and spiritual link that helps preserve a sense of identity and continuity with their Indian heritage. However, the most interesting part of the research is how non-Indian individuals in these communities have also started participating in Hanuman-related rituals. The study suggested that Hanuman's universal qualities of courage, loyalty, and selflessness resonate with individuals from different cultural and religious backgrounds. These qualities are universally appreciated, making Hanuman a figure that transcends the boundaries of specific religious traditions. In the Caribbean, for example, Hanuman Jayanti is celebrated not only by Indian origin Hindus but also by other ethnic groups who have grown up around the cultural influence of Hinduism. The symbolism of Hanuman carrying the mountain and his role as a protector is something that resonates deeply even with those who may not fully understand the nuances of the Ramayana. One research article published in a journal on religious syncretism explored how Hanuman's worship has been incorporated into practices that blend elements of Hinduism with local religious traditions. For instance, in parts of Trinidad and Guyana, Hanuman is worshipped alongside local deities and spirits, and his mantras are chanted for protection and strength. This blending of traditions has resulted in unique forms of worship that are not seen in India, showing how Hanuman's influence evolves as it spreads across different cultures. In the United States, especially in multicultural urban centers, Hanuman is also gaining recognition. In interfaith contexts, many interfaith events involving Hindu temples have used Hanuman's story as a symbol of unity, courage, and service to humanity. For instance, during environmental or social justice movements, the image of Hanuman carrying the mountain is often invoked as a symbol of carrying the weight of responsibility for the collective good. This has been highlighted in a few international journals focusing on religion and society, showing how Hanuman's image is adapted for contemporary causes beyond traditional religious settings. That's incredible, the way Hanuman is embraced in such diverse settings and contexts around the world. You mentioned earlier about Hanuman being integrated into leadership models and humanitarian work. Are there published studies that further explore his role in contemporary global leadership or community initiatives? Indeed, Hanuman's qualities are increasingly being studied within leadership and humanitarian frameworks, especially in international journals focusing on leadership studies and social ethics. One paper that stands out, published in a journal on global leadership, delved deeply into the concept of servant leadership and how Hanuman's life serves as a symbol and model for this. The concept of servant leadership, where a leader prioritizes the needs of their team and leads with humility, selflessness, and dedication, has become increasingly popular in corporate and non-profit settings worldwide. The paper argued that Hanuman epitomizes the form of leadership, not through authority or power, but through his unwavering devotion to Lord Rama and his tireless service to the greater good. His role in the Ramayana offers timeless lessons in humility, loyalty, and putting others' needs before one's own qualities that are being incorporated into leadership training programs globally. Interestingly, the study also highlighted how leaders in modern organizations are using Hanuman's example to foster resilience and adaptability within their teams. In times of crisis or uncertainty, leaders draw upon Hanuman's fearlessness and resourcefulness, such as when he found the life-saving Sanjeevani herb for Lakshman, to inspire their teams to overcome obstacles with creative solutions. This is particularly relevant in industries that deal with high-pressure environments such as healthcare, emergency services, and even corporate leadership. During times of economic downturn, there is also emerging research that looks at how Hanuman's leadership qualities are being applied to social justice movements. So one such study published in a journal on ethics and leadership explored how activists, particularly in environmental and humanitarian causes, are using Hanuman's symbolic strength and protection to galvanize their efforts. Hanuman's image as a protector is particularly resonant in campaigns aimed at safeguarding communities or natural resources. For example, during protests or rallies for environmental protection, Hanuman's name and images are invoked as symbols of strength and moral courage. The paper detailed instances where environmental activists in India as well as abroad have chanted Hanuman Chalisa during movements to protect forests or wildlife, drawing inspiration from his role as the ultimate protector. This connection between spirituality, leadership, and social activism is an exciting and evolving area of research that international scholars are keenly exploring. Additionally, leadership programs in some universities are beginning to integrate Hanuman's principles of devotion and ethical service into their curriculum. These programs, particularly those that focus on spiritual or ethical leadership, are showing how figures like Hanuman can provide valuable insights into leading with compassion, strength, and a sense of duty. It is fascinating to see how Hanuman's influence extends into modern leadership and social activism. Before we conclude, are there any other areas of research or future directions that you find particularly promising when it comes to studies on Hanuman, especially in the context of global spiritual practices? One promising area is that I believe will continue to grow is the integration of Hanuman worship into global wellness and mental health practices, especially as more research emerges on the benefits of chanting and devotional practices. The connection between spiritual practices and mental health is something that more international journals are starting to explore, and Hanuman's role as a figure of strength and resilience makes him especially relevant in this field. Another area of interest is the study of Hanuman in the context of interfaith dialogue. Hanuman's qualities of loyalty, courage, and selflessness transcend religious boundaries, and making him a figure who can inspire people from various spiritual backgrounds. I foresee more research on how Hanuman can be used as a symbol of unity and collaboration in interfaith initiatives around the world. Finally, there is significant potential for further research into the neuroscience of chanting the Hanuman Chalisa. As technology for brain imaging continues to advance, I expect we will see more studies that provide a scientific understanding of how these ancient practices influence the brain and body. This will further solidify the role of spiritual practices like Hanuman worship in contemporary wellness programs, not just in India but globally. Thank you for this enlightening and comprehensive discussion. The depth and breadth of research on Lord Hanuman, from his role in leadership to his influence in mental health and beyond, is truly remarkable. We look forward to seeing how future studies continue to explore and expand on these themes. Jai Gurudev.